Testing. Anyway, I guess the test is over. But let's start this video again. Alright, this is gonna be a video response to Dead Guy Cardboard. And he really wanted to know our history with collecting. You can see a video. I'm gonna leave a link to the video that I did. I think it was another video response similar to this. Not the one I did previously, but I did way back. I don't remember exactly which one it was. It talks more about my history with collecting. But let's just say I started collecting in '85 or '86 when I was collecting a Nintendo and Topps crossover. I mean, well, they were working together to make cards, and you know, those cards were very nostalgic to me. I know Topps is doing this wrapping, like art, the art from wrappers. So I might start getting into collecting those because that just sounds interesting. And I do collect wrappers, by the way. So let's talk about the evolved form of my collecting. Now, back in '85. I wasn't much of a collector. I just started getting a collector bug. '87 started collecting baseball mainly, and it grew from there. I was mainly collecting baseball until the baseball strike got me a little, iffy about baseball, and I was collecting a little bit more basketball and football and then hockey at the time, but I just couldn't stay away. I was eventually my collection grew more lenient to the baseball side of things. I was also collecting video games at the time, and I was collecting comic book related cards as well. So I was collecting all that stuff. Eventually, probably in the late '90s, I started getting a little bit into Pokemon and then anime. I was also collecting a lot of not DVDs, just VHS and anime in general. I was collecting a lot of anime, comic books, mangas and stuff like that. So I was collecting a lot of stuff, and I don't even know, half the time I don't even know how I got all this money. I was working at the time and I was doing other things. I always found a way to get the money. I didn't buy everything. I wouldn't say I was rich, but I was able to get stuff. Especially that my brother and a lot of my cousins were also collectors and gamers and whatnot. We were just always interested in that stuff, comic books and stuff. Eventually, I stopped collecting comic books. I'm still currently collecting video games, but I don't collect them as much. I mean, because I was getting to a point. The problem is with comic books and video games and CDs. I'm a huge film buff, so I was collecting a lot of films, and I downsized that because it's too hard to keep. If you live in an apartment, it's too hard to store those things. You're gonna constantly get DVDs and stuff like that. Nowadays, it's slowly but becoming a dying thing because I could get endless movies off of Netflix and whatnot, and all these other avenues that I can use. Also, a lot of the classic games, old school Super NES games, I can get either collections or just play them on just play the ROMs and stuff like that, which I've done before. I ain't trying to spend all this kind of money on video games, because for one thing, my backlog is crazy. You don't even know. My backlog to watch movies and TV shows and then video games on top of that, whoa, it's crazy. It is crazy. Same thing with comic books. There's tons of comic books that I didn't read back in the day. Tons of books I have. right now. I used to collect even books, a lot of self-help books and stuff like that. They're all collecting dust right now. I sold a lot of them, and stuff like that, and just kept the ones I thought I was going to use and whatnot. So that's how it kind of evolved right now. And in late 2013, I started getting into poke. Well, it started with poker, probably like in 2010. Actually, sorry, I was into poker, and then just was going through the motions, just into poker. Played a lot of friends, and I won a lot of money. It was fun at one time, and then slowly but surely, around 2013, I started getting into Magic the Gathering, and that's what kicked it off. Like, then I was like, oh yeah, I remember I was, just collecting cards in general just made me feel like, oh, I remember when I was collecting baseball cards, ripping those packs, just that addiction of ripping packs with Magic the Gathering, it just set it off. I mean, and I just kept thinking about my collection, but I was not living with my parents at the time. I was living, I was living on my own. So I just started accumulating a small collection of Magic the Gathering cards, and I had like a couple of like a poker chip stuff, and a lot of poker chips related stuff, related stuff, and then slowly I started not collecting anything from poker because there was a good friend I played with back in the day. He passed away, unfortunately, and that got me a little bit, not wanting to play poker anymore. But besides that, what else? Besides that, the Magic the Gathering is what pretty much kicked it off. I just spent there was the first time in a long time that I remember I spent more on cards than on video games. Once I saw that happening to me, I was like, wow, I'm starting to get the bug again, And then in 2014, was it 2014? Yeah, in 2015 actually. In 2015, I started to look at my collection, my card collection, my comic books. Like, I was thinking about selling them, getting rid of them and whatnot. And I was just like, nah, it's too much. It's too much memories, too much. I just can't sell them off like that. So I started looking up people in late 2015. This is because I remember I started looking through my collection probably like during the Christmas time of 2015, and then like the following year in 2016, I was just looking at people like Mike, the baseball collector, Mike O, Silver Jackify, all these people that I looked up to, and there's several other people that don't do videos anymore. So I was looking at them, seeing how they were doing things. They were teaching me things that I forgot, or some things I still knew, obviously. But there was a lot of stuff that I started to get back into because back in the day when I used to collect, there was not like super refractors, all these number cards, all these autographs, all these patches and stuff. None of that stuff existed before. A little bit. It was getting there, but it wasn't like how it is now. Now I do miss all the card companies, that used to make cards before. Some of them are still in business, obviously, but only one has the baseball license, and that's full license, obviously, to make baseball cards. and I just heard recently they signed for a longer extension to 2025, and that, I guess I knew that was gonna happen. I had a feeling that was gonna happen, but anyway, how's it evolved? You're probably asking, how's it changed? Well, I told you how's it changed. I mean, I'm pretty much collecting baseball right now, basketball, and football. I don't watch hockey enough to be like, oh, I'm super knowledgeable of it. so I really don't collect hockey that much. I may pick up some hockey cards here and there, but I'm not like I said, I'm not super in a collector or anything like that. It may happen eventually. I might start picking up some cards, but and then other sports are not. I mean, there's other sports I watch like tennis, soccer, and stuff like that. But I'm not super into them either. I don't collect any related, or boxing. I don't really collect anything from them, or UFC or wrestling. I don't watch wrestling that often either anymore. I used to be a huge fan of wrestling too. Wow, I remember back in the day too. But yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Right now, I'm just PCing Yankees, Hall of Famers, people, New Yorkers, born in New York or raised in New York or known to be New Yorkers, people that were born in Dominican Republic, and are known to be Dominican. They could be American Dominicans too. I collect them too. Just part of my heritage, and I just want to pay homage to those people that have made it and are just really cool. Also, maybe even some, like I said, I might start doing another PC. I don't know yet, but of course, sets that I want to collect, sets that give me a feeling of importance to me, and that's like my birth year, of course, and maybe a year that is significant, like 87, where I started actually collecting, and then maybe the year I started recollecting, which is in 2000. I do have the set for 2016. No, sorry, I don't have that. I have 2017. I have the full set, but for the flagship, 2016, I'm working on it. I'm working on the set because that was the year where I officially started collecting again when it comes to sports cards. And yeah, this video is way longer than that. This is actually the third take, way longer than I thought I was gonna do. So pretty much that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Longer than I thought. I know I didn't show you cards, and I'm sorry about that, but I do have some cards coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. I do have some pickups that I did record previously, and then I have some cards on the way that I'm gonna record eventually when they come. And yeah, I still have to show you my binder. I still have to show you. I still have other videos in the works, so just stay tuned. You'll see them when they come out. All right, later, guys. Hope you enjoy. And please go check his channel out, Dead Guy Cardboard. 500 subs. Congrats to him. Really cool channel. If you're into vintage baseball, go check him out. I know he's from Cincinnati, I believe. So go check him out later.